What if I told you that not trying at all is the biggest failure you can make in your life? In this video, we shall break down why failure isn't your enemy. It's actually the only way forward. Failure is the way forward. Failures and problems are a part of life. They don't stop us, they fuel us to move forward. Most of the time, we hesitate to take action, fearing, what if I failed? But the biggest question is, what if we never start? Not taking action is already form of a failure. Even Mark Manson admits he once thought the same way. But here's the truth. If you fail, what's the worst that can happen? You end up where you already are. So why not try? For example, having a job can mean success for some people, but for others, it feels like a failure, just barely paying bills and living without purpose. Success and failure depend on how we measure them, and that's tied to our values. At some point in life, growth stops when we avoid risk. We clinging only to what we already good at. We fear rejection, embarrassment, or looking foolish. But this fear limits us. If we stop trying to build a new relationship because we want everyone to like us, we set unrealistic standards. The failure success paradox. Here is the story. When Picasso was an old man, he sat in Spanish cafe doodling on a napkin. A woman nearby, amazed by his sketch, and asked to buy it. Picasso said, "Sure, $20,000. Shocked, she said, "What? What? It took you 2 minutes to draw that." Picasso replied, "No, it took me 60 years to draw this." The lesson: success does not come from one attempt, it built on decades of failures, mistakes, and learning. Without failure, no one become an expert. Picasso kept creating until his 90s. If his metric had been get famous or make money, he might have quit. But because his values was simple, create art, he stay motivated for his life. Success and failures are relative. They depend on the standard we set for ourselves. The problem begins when we measure success by others people's action or reaction instead of our own efforts. Pain is the part of the process. We often don't realize what we have until we lose it. After World War II, psychologist Kamyszysz Dabrowski studied survivors in Poland. Many of them said their sufferings, trauma, and loss made them stronger and more grateful for life. Before the war, they were depressed or unappreciated. But after enduring pain, they learned resilience and responsibility. Pain shapes us, it grounds us, makes us stronger, and teaches us to appreciate life. Hitting rock bottom, an identity crisis, heartbreak, failure can feel like the end, but it's often the beginning of real growth. Pain is not enemy, avoiding pain is. If we run from it by chasing endless pleasure, comfort, or distraction, we never find true motivation to change. Every action in life carries the possibility of pain. Talking to someone new is simple, but the fear of rejection makes it hard. Yet, if we can endure the discomfort, we can build countless new relationships. The secret is not to avoid pain, but to choose the pain that leads to growth. Remember, you lose nothing if you fail, only a bit of ego. The do something principle. Fear of failure and rejections hold people back, but the cure is simple: do something. Manson calls this the do something principle. When he taught himself of web design and online marketing, no one was pushing him. He had to figure out step by step, taking action even without motivation, created momentum, and momentum builds motivation. If you sit back in a problem, don't just think about it, start working on it. Even if you don't know what to do, even if you don't know what you are doing, action itself will lead to clarity. Motivation does not come first, it comes after action. Instead of waiting to feel inspired, take small steps. Action creates inspiration. Inspiration fuels motivation. Motivation drives further action. For example, if you need to redesign a website, don't wait for motivation. Just design the header. Once that's done, momentum carries you forward. Author Tim Ferriss shares a story about a novelist who wrote over 70 books. When asked his secret, the writer said 200 crappy words per day. Most days, those crappy words lead to 1,000 more. The key was starting. The final lesson: failure is unimportant on its own. What matter is failure. What matter is using failure as a fuel to keep moving. Start small, help someone, take responsibility, try something new. Action is always within your reach. But if you make taking action your only metric for success, then even failures push you forward. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe our YouTube channel.